Let's see if this is working now. Always the same thing with this stream. My singing is off the charts, my dude. Okay, I am okay, I'm great, I'm awesome. Let's just not dox ourselves. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream. Today I wanted to play games, but I decided to not do that because I have to go swimming in about an hour. So I'm gonna just react to some videos because I wanted to learn about the Rainbow Six Siege lore, because I want to play the game and I want to relearn before I play, which I'll probably never will eventually. So I'm gonna say I will, but probably I won't. So yeah, let's jump into reacting because I only have an hour for this, and you know what? It's no use wasting it here. And then we're gonna react to another video I wanted to watch, also. So you're welcome to stay with me. Kudos is the creator. Go check him out. Links in the description below. And yeah, let's go.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the updated Rainbow Six Siege storyline as of Operation Commanding Force in Year 8 Season 1 of Rainbow Six Siege. This is going to be the definitive Rainbow Six Siege.
I think this is the season before, like, yeah, the season of last year is 2023, and I couldn't find a 2024 lore drop, so we're gonna just stick with this
lore video, which will catch you up on and explain everything up until the current point in time. So the reason why I want to make a new timeline video is actually because the original one is 7 months old and there's so much change since then, so I feel like we need to do an entirely new updated one. And in the original one, I only started in Operation Shifting Tides, but in this one, we're going to start from the very beginning because the old part of the lore is actually becoming more relevant now, and I feel like you guys should know it. So I quickly do ask you if
subscribe to Kudos, and yeah, thank you. I mean, I kind of want to know about the entire lore of Rainbow Six Siege.
If this is your first time on the channel and you do enjoy this video, consider subscribing as we are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and I really do appreciate it. So without further ado, here is the lore of Rainbow Six Siege. So taking place after the Rainbow Six Vegas games, Rainbow Six Siege's lore actually starts in
To be honest, I don't know anything about Rainbow Six Siege, so I'm just like a new virgin operator.
2012, where a classified mission known as Operation Patriot takes place, and we learn this from the Ghost Recon character Nomad in a crossover between Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six a few years from now, and we'll get into that later.
Oh, I remember playing this game a long ass fucking time ago. I couldn't understand it, I never liked it.
And this actually was going to be his own game known as Rainbow Six Patriots. It was revealed, then cancelled, and then Rainbow Six Siege came into form. But the major thing we have to learn at the end of 2012 after Operation Patriot is that Rainbow as a team was completely disbanded. And between the years of 2012 and 2015, Team Rainbow will actually remain disbanded. This was, however, until a terrorist organization known as the White Masks started to emerge around the globe. They were indiscriminate with who they targeted, and anyone could have been a victim. So with the rise of the threat of the White Masks, an American politician by the name of Aurelia Arnault successfully petitioned for the reactivation of Team Rainbow to take down this threat. With this reactivation, she was named the director of Rainbow, going by the codename Six. She also had staff working with her. One of these of note was a man by the name of Dr. Harishva Pandey, acted as Aurelia's psychological and military cultural advisor. And Rainbow would actually operate and train in Hereford Base in England. And so, to assemble this special group of operatives, specialists from around the world were considered. And after extensive training of operators, 5 CTUs were formed to build the original team. The American FBI SWAT, including Ash, Thermite, Pulse, and Castle. The French GIGN, including Twitch, Montang, Doc, and Rook. The German GSG-9, consisting of Blitz, IQ, Bandit, and Jaeger. The British SAS, which included Sledge, Thatcher, Smoke, and Mute. And finally, the Russian Spetsnaz, including Glaz, Fuse, Kapkan, and Tachanka. And of course, we also have the nameless recruits as well. And with these 20 specialist operators, a new age of Team Rainbow was born. And with the team now fully operational, it won't be too long until they'll go on their first major assignment. An American university known as Bartlett University suffers a chemical bomb attack from the White Masks. Team Rainbow are sent to disarm the gas bombs and
why though? Why were they attacking a university? Come on, like, you had a lot of, I don't know. I mean, if probably your university is under like a terrorist threat, you could probably just get graduated in the moment, or just you could like you could sue the university just because they would probably give you money.
Eliminate the enemies which are present, and although they are successful, there are civilian casualties. And you can actually play this piece of the story in-game with the situation known as Article 5, allowing you to take down the White Mask yourself. And after this, Aurelia confirms that Team Rainbow is here to stay, and Rainbow is ready for their next mission. And at this point, that was kind of where the lore ended. Ubisoft were dealing with quite a rocky launch, as well as a player base which was smaller than they were expecting. But they weren't ready to give up on the game yet and continue to produce content. However, for a few more years, lore did kind of take a back seat. And although the lore is minimal for now, they still did continue to expand Team Rainbow with new operators. In February of 2016, the Canadian JTF2 operators Buck and Frost were invited to join Team Rainbow. Just a few months later, in May of 2016, two American Navy SEAL operators, Valkyrie and Blackbeard, are also introduced to the team. August saw two Brazilian BOPE operators, Kivera and Capitão, join Team Rainbow. And finishing off 2016, two Japanese SAT operators, Echo and Habana, joined the team. This trend continues over the next year. In February of 2017, two Spanish GEO operators, Mirror and Jackal, joined the roster of Team Rainbow. And now there's actually a little break in new recruits because Operation Health, but in August of 2017, more recruits actually joined Team Rainbow, two of which are from the Special Duties Unit in Hong Kong, Legion and Ying, and the Polish JW Grom operator known as Ella. And ending off 2017 in November, two South Korean 707th Special Mission Battalion operators, Dokkaebi and Vigil, joined Team Rainbow, alongside the second Polish Grom specialist, Sophia, who's actually the older sister of Ella. And now finally...
oh my god, this is a lot of lore. The lore is consuming my brain.
Early 2018, the lore kind of starts to pick up a little bit. Counteract the growing threat of biological and chemical attacks, Aurelia, also known as SIGS, creates the CBRN threat unit inside of Team Rainbow. Now the Hong Kong operator Legion is actually part of this threat unit, but so are two brand new operators. A French GIGN operator by the name of Lion, and a Russian Spetsnaz operator by the name of Finka. And no, there was no alien parasite outbreak in New Mexico. That happens in a completely separate timeline, and you can go check out
Wait, what? Alien parasite? What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? What the frick is going on with the lore?
Rainbow Six extraction timeline, if you want to learn that. Just know there's a timeline split here where it splits off into extraction, but we're going to be focusing on Siege, and in the Siege universe, there was no alien outbreak. And so, in June of 2018, two Italian GIS operators, Maestro and Alibi, joined Team Rainbow. But more importantly, a few months later, Aurelia creates another unit inside of Team Rainbow, known as the Urban Tactical Response Team, going by the codename of Grim Sky. This was a special counter-terrorism unit of Team Rainbow, which was established to operate in dense urban environments. This team consisted of Alibi, Ying, Kivera, Bandit, Castle, and two brand new operators, Clash, a British operator part of the Metropolitan Police Service in London, and Maverick, an American specialist part of the Delta Force unit. In the coming months, two Moroccan operators by the name of Cade and Nomad joined Team Rainbow, but more importantly, at the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019, it is said that the terrorist organization known as the White Masks have actually been successfully defeated by Team Rainbow, with their bank accounts being seized by Rainbow themselves. But just like any other group in the world, they are never truly defeated, and the threat could emerge in years to come. But with the power of the White Mask organization dwindled, Rainbow have successfully completed the task in which they were reactivated for. And now is when the lore actually starts to take a change. Aurelia is offered the position of US Secretary of State underneath President Baldwin, in which she accepts and now steps away from the position of Director of Team Rainbow. And with Aurelia's recommendation, Dr. Harishva Pandey now becomes the Director of Team Rainbow. But quite famously, he doesn't want to go by the nickname of Six, he wants to have a closer and more personal relationship with all the operators, and he tells them all just to call him Harry. And so in early 2019, Harry conceives a new system known as the Program. And Harry has realized the continued threat of terrorism around the world.
Okay, this is more complicated than I thought it would be. It's a shooting game. Come on, it's just like extract, kill, and just keep going. I mean, Master Chief is in the game. What else do you need? Freddy Fazbear?
And through his many years at Team Rainbow, he has realized that there are so many different variables, which makes it impossible to plan every situation. He wanted to find a more efficient solution to deploy Team Rainbow anywhere in any situation around the world. To start with this, he would try to decentralize Rainbow from their main base of operation, Hereford Base in England, and create multiple facilities around the world where the operators would not only train, but also live with one another. The first of these locations was an abandoned Commonwealth Stadium in Greece, which was transformed into a state-of-the-art facility. He saw this to have the operators have a better understanding of one another and become stronger teammates. To allow for realistic but safe training, mirror understanding of one another and become
What the frick is this? What is this? What did you do? What are you doing?
Strong
Like, straight up
teammates.
punching him in the gut? What's the point of that exercise? Pain?
To allow for realistic but safe training, Mira, the director of R&D, developed something known as a simsuit, which is a suit worn underneath the armor of operators, which allows the operators to shoot each other with safe pellets, but have a realistic understanding of the damage they are doing with these simulated suits they are wearing. And so, with the
okay,
program underway,
sure.
it's time to bring in some new operators. So in March of 2019, 2 Australian SASR operators, Mozzie and Gridlock, joined Team Rainbow. And in June of 2019, Danish Jaeger Corps operator Nook joins Team Rainbow, as well as American Secret Service specialist Warden. He actually saved the life of President Baldwin and served with him until he finished his second term in office. So he had a lot of good recommendations when he was joining Team Rainbow. And in September, Peruvian operator Amaru and Mexican operator Goyo were introduced to Team Rainbow. And in this time in 2019, the Brazilian operator Caveira goes AWOL. She was suspected of killing several Santa Blanca cartel members who are the main antagonists of Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now the team of Ghosts actually meet up with Valkyrie and Twitch, who are both there in hopes of finding Caveira to help stop which could potentially escalate into an international incident. Turns out Caveira was actually there searching for someone by the name Dingoso. Find out that that is not his real name, and it turns out his real name was Joao.
Yeah, why would it be Dingoso? I mean, that's an awful name.
Oh, and he's actually the younger brother of Caveira. It turns out Joao was an undercover officer for the Federal Police of Brazil, and he was sent to infiltrate the Santa Blanca drug cartel. However, it turns out his cover was blown and he was being held captive by the cartel. And it turns out Caveira is trying to save her younger brother's life. So with Valkyrie actually holding back, kind of being the leader of this operation, Twitch and the team of Ghosts intercept Caveira before she gets to her brother. They explain that they know why she's there and they want to help her. The team successfully managed to rescue Joao, but when the leader of the Ghost Bowman demands that Joao gives them information about El Sueño, the leader of the cartel, there's a bit of tension after he says he will only speak with permission from his superiors. The Nomad of the Ghost crew breaks up the tension and Team Rainbow leave, ending this operation. And at the end of 2019, this is where the lore takes its biggest turn. Using the money which they seized from the White Masks after they defeated them, Harry decides to put it to good use and contracts the private military organization known as Nighthaven to work and operate under Team Rainbow
What is he doing? What is he doing exactly? What kind of training is this? Hold your breath as long as you can, and you'll be just fine, dude.
a distress call from a super tanker, in which pirates actually attacked the ship and threatened to kill the people on board. However, Nighthaven successfully killed the pirates without any civilian casualties. However, the real reason Harry actually invited Nighthaven to join Team Rainbow was to prevent any opposing organizations hiring them and to keep a close eye on them. And so with this, the leader and CEO of Nighthaven, Callie, joined by her right-hand man Womai, both joined Team Rainbow as operative. And as well as this, the military power of Nighthaven. Despite all this, veteran operator Ash is heavily critical of Nighthaven joining the team and disagrees with Harry's choice. Despite this, Nighthaven joins and recruitment continues for the program. However, in January, Harry actually launches the first annual Tournament of Champions at the stadium. This is under the guise of public training exercises for counter-terrorism units across the world, and the tournament serves as an annual test of everything the operators have learned.
So basically it became a sport? Why? Why would you? Like, you're supposed to be practicing special secret operations. Why would it... I don't know. Why would you reveal them to the world?
Since the program starts. However, showing the team in this light of the public will cause some criticism, but it seems like the operators really put their new skills to the test and it worked out very well. In March of 2020, a specialist from the Netherlands known as Ayana joins Team Rainbow, as well as a Jordanian man known as Oryx, who is actually the unofficial second in command to Cade at his fortress. In June of 2020, a South African operator by the name of Malusi joins the program, and Nighthaven bring in another operative by the name of Ace. And by the way, when Nighthaven brings in these operators, it doesn't mean that these operators are now joining Nighthaven. A lot of them have actually been with Nighthaven for a good amount of years, but it just means that they are now being contracted as operators under Team Rainbow but are still part of Nighthaven. And in September of 2020, legendary soldier Sam Fisher was on the run from an unknown enemy. Sam was unsafe and needed cover, so Harry offered him a job in Team Rainbow and giving him the codename Zero to help hide his identity. Sam would become the first member of the Rainbow operations staff, as well as the primary instructor for the program in training all the operators. And in December of 2020, Thermite, another Nighthaven operative by the
great.
name of Aruni, joins Team Rainbow. Now we know that her and Thermite are old friends, and they were on an operation together where it went wrong and Thermite actually got burned and Aruni lost her limbs. Around this time as well, we are in the run-up to the Tournament of Champions in 2021. There are 4 team captains for this tournament: Capitao, Mira, Ash, and Vigil, and we actually learned that Harry has put Callie on Ash's team because he seems to know that Ash has a big disliking to Callie and Nighthaven.
So
he wants to
that's
see
gonna
if by
work
putting her
out
on the same
great,
team
I
as
bet.
her will potentially help build that bond. And we also learn here that Vigil has quite a disliking for Mozzie. Now still in this run up to the Tournament of Champions 2021, also known as 6 Invitational 2021, we get a comic book showing Fuse being invited by Callie to train with Nighthaven at the stadium. And in this comic, see Fuse talking to Callie after training, and Callie asks him why he hesitated to take a shot. Fuse said it was actually because Aruni was in his line of fire, but Callie says that Nighthaven's policy during matches is to play hard and take risks. No lives are on the line in the arena, so you have to do what you have to do. And judging by Fuse's reaction,
that makes sense, but also it's a simulation of real life, so it doesn't make that much sense.
that is not in the playbook for Team Rainbow. So we're already starting to see Nighthaven acting a bit differently than Rainbow does. A few pages along, we can see Callie showing off the Master Frame Prototype 1. This is actually her elite skin in the game. Fuse asks her if it's Rainbow compliant, and Callie says, more or less. And Fuse asks her, aren't you not supposed to wear your uniform for the Invitational? And Callie says, the Master Frame Protocol is my uniform. And all of this is kind of showing a bit of defiance from Callie and Nighthaven, and is foreshadowing what's to come. So now we're in SI 2021, and Callie and Ash are on the same team. During the match, Ash and Dokkaebi are pinned down and are requesting Callie for help. But Callie isn't doing anything, at least not yet. Ash and Dokkaebi realize that Callie is using them as bait to draw out the defenders. And although Callie ends up winning the game for them, Dokkaebi gets eliminated whilst
Weren't they supposed to be, like, not hurt or wearing, like, an exosuit or something like that? Like, what the fuck?
being used as bait, and Ash actually gets grazed from Callie's bullet. So Ash was beyond annoyed from this. She was already disliking of Nighthaven and Callie, and this pushed it over the line. This showed Ash, if they were in a real engagement and not training, that she would have used Ash and Dokkaebi as live bait. And if this was real, Dokkaebi would have been killed. And that this is not in the playbook for Team Rainbow. Ash is at her limit and she's had enough. She confronts Callie, who is celebrating with other operators, and after a little argument and some sly comments from Callie, Ash punches her in the face. There's a skirmish between a lot of the operators in the room, and this is the beginning with a lot of issues of Team Rainbow. So now in March of 2021, we have Crimson Heist. This is where we meet the
drama, full-on drama with trained soldiers. That's fantastic.
the Argentinian operator Flores, who actually had a run-in with Ash back in 2016 after she offered him asylum in the United States when he was wanted by a crime lord after they tracked their stolen money to him. And although he is a reformed burglar, Ash knows his expertise better than anyone else. And in early 2021, Ash wanted to recruit Flores into Team Rainbow as she had a task for him. She sent Castle and Goyo to recruit him into Team Rainbow. And what we actually learn is that the reason Ash wanted Flores to join Team Rainbow was not only because of his skills at heist and sneakiness, but she also wanted him to monitor Callie and figure out what she's planning. She trusted that Flores had the skills to do this, and Flores accepted the offer. And in June of 2021, we have a brand new operative by the name of Thunderbird. She's a skilled pilot, and after her recruitment, she was attacked on a runway. After defeating her enemy, it turns out it was actually Nook, and it was a very elaborate training exercise. In September of 2021, another Nighthaven operative joins Team Rainbow by the name of Osa. It turns out that Osa is the head of Nighthaven's QCR department, meaning that she's in charge of making all of Nighthaven's tech. And we actually learn that the reason why Callie has been trying to get Harry to recruit all these Nighthaven operators is part of a bigger plan to recruit Rainbow operators into Nighthaven itself. And in attempts to do so, they invited some Rainbow operators to Nighthaven's base to try out some of their equipment. And in the Crystal Guard cinematic, we can see operators such as IQ and Smoke trying out some tech on Nighthaven's base. And finally, in November of 2021, Irish operator Thorn joins Team Rainbow, and she's actually an old friend of Sledge. But more importantly, around this time, we had SI 2022. And although there wasn't a cinematic for this tournament, we do know one of the teams involved led by Callie, and it consisted of Osa, Ace, Finka, IQ, Aruni, Wamai, Ella, Pulse, and Smoke. But it seems like after this tournament, Nighthaven got what they wanted. Callie announced her departure of Team Rainbow alongside Nighthaven and the other operators that joined with her, but as we learned
I thought this was going to be more interesting, and as it turns out, it isn't. But you know what? I'm here for it. I want to learn. So I'm gonna still just swallow this fucking video.
In the Sisters in Arms cinematic, Rainbow operators who were actually on the same team as Callie and SI, such as Finka, IQ, Ella, Pulse, and Smoke, got the offer to join Nighthaven and leave Team Rainbow, and all of them accepted. And one of these operators we got focused on heavily was Ella in the Sisters in Arms cinematic, and we've seen that fallout between her and her sister Zofia, with Ella representing Nighthaven and Zofia representing Rainbow, and it showed the strained relation between the both. And so after these operators left Team Rainbow and Nighthaven departed, Harry decided to make some changes to Team Rainbow. Team Rainbow was no longer going to operate as one team, rather separated into 4 different squads, all of which having a leader. Team Rainbow are still one big team and they do still work together, however it does function differently from before. But we'll go more in detail into all these squads a bit further on. So in March of 2022, a Japanese businessman by the name of Masayuki Yahata was strolling through a street market with his personal bodyguard, Kana Fujiwara, aka Azami. However, during their peaceful walk, they were actually jumped and attacked by a number of hidden assassins. Azami put up a good fight, however in the end it wasn't enough and Yahata lost his life. This enraged Azami because she got quite close to Yahata. They were more than business partners, they were friends. And so searching for answers, Azami takes one of the bullet casings from this scene and breaks into the home of one of her colleagues when they both worked in the Japanese police force together, Hibana. Azami presents his bullet casing to Hibana, revealing that this bullet was from none other than Nighthaven's QCR department, hinting that this assassination could potentially have been from Nighthaven. Now this is major since Nighthaven not only were working with Rainbow not too long ago, but now some ex-Rainbow operatives are working underneath Nighthaven. So being presented with the news that some of their ex-colleagues are now part of a team that is potentially assassinating people put this very high on Rainbow's radar. So to investigate this, Thatcher and Jackal fly out to Japan and meet up with Azami and Hibana. Jackal, using his footprint scanner, tracks the footsteps of some assassins who fled the scene. This leads a group of operators into an abandoned factory, and we actually do see a little line here of Thatcher calling Smoke a backstabbing shite. So it's quite obvious how Thatcher feels about Nighthaven. After a fight with the assassins, Thatcher manages to grab one of them and holds his neck at knife point. They thought it was a joke because Yahata was such a big name, but they actually then started to receive weapons, intel on Yahata's movement, and a lot of money. Jackal manages to find the weapons crate, but it turns out the assassins were told to go here and were actually being used as bait to draw these Rainbow operatives into the building so they can be taken out by an attack helicopter. Azami uses her Kiba barriers and helps the operators get away. And in his final moments, Hibana says, whoever that was, if they're working for Nighthaven, they just declared war. So with all this information, Team Rainbow gather and decide that they are going to infiltrate Nighthaven's base and find if they are truly behind all of this. Team Rainbow learn that the architect that designed Nighthaven's base is being held by a local militia, and describe that they're going to rescue him and get some information out of him before Nighthaven get there first. And so this is the first time we see one of our 4 squads in action, Wolfguard. This is a humanitarian squad led by Doc, and it consists of Twitch, Montang, Lion, Castle, Bandit, Frost, Ying, Clash, Nomad, Malusi, Thunderbird, and a brand new recruit by the name of Sense.
Great.
So in the cinematic,
more people join Rainbow Six Siege. Sure, buddy, that's great. That's awesome. I love it.
you can see Doc and Twitch on mission control, with operators Montang, Lion, and Sense actually on the ground attempting to extract the architect. The operators use their gadgets to their fullest extent and managed to defeat all of the enemies. After they extracted the architect, they treated his wounds and convinced him to give them the schematics of Nighthaven's base. This is when the mission was over for Wolfguard and they were actually passing it over to Ghost Eyes. And Ghost Eyes is a stealth and sneaky squad led by Kavera, and at the current point in time of the lore, it included Glaz, Valkyrie, Vigil, Zofia, Legion, Nook, Warden, Maverick, Mozzie, Ayana, Zero, Flores, and quite soon we'll be getting the introduction to Solace into the team, but that comes a bit later. So in the briefing of this mission, we learn that they keep everything on a secure private server, including the QCR inventory. And they claim that with that intel, they can connect them to the equipment that was used to kill Yahata. Sense is actually worried about the well-being of the architect on this mission and convinces Doc to allow them to go along, promising that once they get Ghost Eyes in the door, they'll leave with the architect. Doc reinforces the reason as to why they have the squads is that they have all their mandates, but Doc does compromise with Sense, allowing them to go to a certain extent. So now we can actually see Sense alongside a hidden Ghost Eyes operator along with the architect in Nighthaven gear sneaking onto the base. Now the undercover crew are stopped at the door by none other than Ace and Pulse, but the architect manages to talk his way through, claiming that the reason he is there is to design a new recreational area, which Ace reminds him is going to be a volleyball court. Ace and Pulse see no suspicion as they've worked with this guy before and they let him on past. They actually manage to find their way to a side entrance, but it turns out that the architect's handprint is no longer on Nighthaven's system. The unnamed Ghost Eyes operator claimed it was time for plan B, and this involved taking out a Nighthaven guard and using their unconscious hand. And it does seem like this Ghost Eyes operator was going to kill this guard, but Sense intervenes, saying that we don't even know if Nighthaven are the enemy yet, also showing the humanitarian side of the Wolfguard operator. So they manage to get the Ghost Eyes operator in the door, and Sense and the architect go to leave. As Sense and the architect start to leave the base, we learn that the Ghost Eyes operator that actually got in was none other than Nook. We fast forward to nighttime now, and it seems like Nighthaven have discovered this unconscious guard from earlier, and now we see Smoke in a new Nighthaven attire alongside an operative we have never seen before by the name of Grim. Now Grim actually enters the server room where he can see some injured Nighthaven guards, and he is on high alert. The computer shows that someone has accessed it, and before he has time to think, he is jumped from behind and stabbed in the leg by Nook. Using his nanobot bees, they chase Nook down and reveal her location. Nook and Grim have a close range fight with a knife involved, and Grim almost cuts Nook in the face. Nook actually manages to get the upper hand and stuns Grim. And before she escapes, we do see that she managed to get the data key, and she jumps into the water where she is saved by none other than Sam Fisher. And now seems like Nighthaven know that Rainbow are onto them. We now jump over to the comic, which takes place 3 hours after this event, and we see that Nighthaven are trying to find out who stole the data key and why. She puts Grim on the case and he happily accepts, with Callie saying that no one interferes with Nighthaven without consequences. Grim interviews all of the operators, such as Wamai, Osa, Aruni, Pulse, but the one person he got a definitive answer out of was Finka, who told him that it was Nook. Grim relays this information to Callie, and she says that this is bold, even for Rainbow. Grim asks Callie if he should take out Nook, but Callie says that they can't make an enemy out of Rainbow, at least not yet. But she tells Grim to expose Nook in a different way by exposing her secret identity. This leads Grim into chasing a number of different leads, till he finds someone who has a link to Nook. This leads him to a theme park where he finds a man spending a day with his family. He pulls the man into a side room, repeating a secret code he learned from a different lead earlier. He threatens the man's life unless he gives him the information. And now it seems that Grim and Nighthaven got what they wanted. Grim shows up to Nook's house where she is doing some gardening and is clearly caught off guard. They pretend to act civil with each other, Nook offering him a drink, but when the opportunity arrived, Nook tried to get the upper hand on Grim. They had yet another fight, and Nook once again is victorious in this, but Grim says that he's not here to kill her, rather to find out what she is trying to protect, and more specifically, who she is trying to protect. And he's actually there to blackmail her by saying that he knows everything about her, he knows her family, he's basically doxing her, and if she crosses Nighthaven again, there will be consequences. So a lot of the story between Vector Glare and Brittle Swarm happened very close to each other, but now it seems like there was a little break for a few months as the brand new Ghost Eyes operator Solish joins the team. And in this time, it seems like Rainbow have learned that Nighthaven aren't responsible for Yahata's death, and there's someone else in play. However, they're now scared that a private military organization such as Nighthaven are going to start a war over this. And so although Nighthaven actually on the enemy now, Rainbow want them to stay uninvolved and allow them to do it themselves. So in the runway of Nighthaven's base, we see Callie talking to her soldiers. Osa is also there as well. The Nighthaven ordnance was...
I need a second. This is just... This doesn't have any flair to it, okay? It's just shitty. I mean, it's not shitty. It's not shitty, okay? It's good and it's well done and well organized, but also it's just constant lore drop that doesn't make any sense because they don't give you any context. Maybe I should have played the games. I don't know.
Stolen. So this confirms that now Rainbow know it, and Nighthaven also know that her stuff has been stolen as well. This is when she's confronted with Solis alongside Kavera, and actually the rest of the Ghost Eye squad hidden in the shadows pretending to be Nighthaven soldiers. After a fight, Callie tells Cav that they didn't kill Yahata and that their tech has been stolen. Kavera said that they know, but they want Nighthaven to stay out of it. And as Solis says, you don't get to start a war over it. Callie insults Ghost Eye saying, not sure your butter knife will cut it, darling, you're up against some very loud guns. And that's when Kavera says that they actually have a squad for that, known as Red Hammer. So with Wolfguard being humanitarian, Ghost Eyes being sneaky, Red Hammer is the full guns a-blazing hard-hitting squad.
Yeah.
This team is led by Thermite and consists of Ash, Tachanka, Fuse, Kapkan, Sledge, Buck, Blackbeard, Cade, Gridlock, Goyo, Amaru, Oryx, and Thorn. So now it's Rainbow's time to deal with whoever it was that stole Nighthaven's tech, who's out there assassinating people. They're going to put an end to it, and they want Nighthaven to stay out of their way. This is when we get into the insane Year 8 cinematic, which shows us Harry at the same desk we've seen him many times before. But the mood is much darker, and there's someone else in the room. This figure slides a phone over to Harry and says, look at this. This is how Rainbow dies. And we actually see that this is a live feed coming from Thermite's body cam. Thermite, of course being the leader of Red Hammer, is in the building with a gang which is using stolen Nighthaven gear. We hear him talking to Kavera, the leader of Ghost Eyes, showing that this is a joint operation between the two squads. And with a breach from an exothermic charge, the guns are live. It shows that there are also 3 other operators on this mission as well, Sledge, who is part of Red Hammer, Ash, who is also part of Red Hammer, and Zofia, who is part of Ghost Eyes. And these operators are taking these enemies out with ease. They don't seem very experienced. Surely these guys aren't the masterminds. And still, our operators successfully take out these enemies. After the gunfight, Ash helps Thermite up, and that is actually when they realize that there has been a bomb planted here this whole time, and it's about to explode. It turns out this entire mission was bait. Ash and Thermite try to run away, but they do get caught in the explosion. His body cam goes quiet, and we do not know the fate of the 5 operators. We cut back to Harry and this mysterious figure, and the acting here is so good that I'm gonna let it play out because I can't even describe it and do it justice.
Let's see.
Call me sentimental, but I'm a little disappointed they fell for it. You know, Rainbow used to be feared in my time. A covert unit of apex killers. And you turned it into the fucking Ice Capades. You disgraced my unit, Harry.
It's their unit now. And the disgrace is yours, Deimos.
What comes next is the squad's fall. One by one, every operator dies. I guess I wanted to thank you for making it so easy for us.
Oh god.
My job was never to lead Rainbow.
I think that was
Rather to
exactly
help
your
Hate
job,
themselves.
but... Oh no, dude.
Now, if you don't mind, I happen to find you exceedingly fucking boring.
Oh, got him.
And yes, here's the big reveal. There's a new character by the name of Deimos, who is ex-Team Rainbow, and he honestly could have even been there before Aurelia was. And we don't know if he was operator level or even higher, we are still yet to learn that. But the major thing we learn here is that he is going to kill all of the operators. That is his goal. And he's been the one pulling the strings between Rainbow and Nighthaven the whole time. He was the one who got Yahata killed with Nighthaven gear. He saw the issues that Rainbow and Nighthaven had with each other and escalated it to a new tier. They've been playing his game the whole time, and he got them right where he wanted, exploding a bomb injuring 5 operators. As unorthodox as they can be, Nighthaven aren't the bad guys. Rainbow and Nighthaven now have a common enemy, and they could begin working together again. And it's clear that Deimos had a lot of issues with Harry. Probably one of his biggest issues as well might have been the whole stadium and the tournament and the public eye. But Harry actually did build Rainbow back stronger because they no longer need a 6. He doesn't have to be replaced. There are 4 squads now. Thermite, Doc, Kavera, and Hibana can lead Rainbow into the future. Just like Harry said in his final moments, it's their squad now. And for that, he succeeded as the director of Rainbow Six. Now there's one squad we haven't focused on yet, and we're now going to look at them now because they actually managed to track down Deimos, and that is the Viper Strike squad led by Hibana. This squad specializes in versatility, and it includes Thatcher, Mute, Rook, Blitz, Jaeger, Capitao, Echo, Jackal, Mirror, Dokkaebi, Maestro, Alibi, Azami, and the brand new operator Brava, who's actually the cousin of Capitao. So not long after Harry's death, Rainbow are already in hot pursuit. Viper Strike leader Hibana, joined by members Brava and Capitao, managed to sneak on board one of Deimos' planes. Brava uses her clutch drones to hack one of the machine guns on the plane and take out some enemies. Hibana attempts to breach open a door which Deimos is behind, with Deimos emerging, actually opening up the plane's cargo door. Many of Deimos' soldiers fall out the plane, but so does his cargo, including a bunch of gold, money, and other financial supplies. Capitao almost falls out the plane, but that is when Brava saves him and holds him by one arm. Capitao exclaims that Brava must take the shot onto Deimos and kill him for what he's done before he hurts more, but that would result in her letting Capitao fall to his death. She could not bring herself to do that to her cousin, and Deimos managed to get away. Hibana, who was knocked unconscious by one of the moving crates, claims that although he got away, they hurt him financially and he'll need to find a new way to finance his operation. So although they didn't kill him, all his gold and his money and other stuff that he's using to finance his operation did fall out of the plane, and so they did manage to hurt him to an extent. And finally, we move on to the comic book for Operation Commanding Force. At our current point in time, this is the final piece of lore we have reached. Of course, stay tuned for more, but this comic does reveal a lot. We also do know that Sledge has been injured. We learned that in the battle pass, so we can assume that Zofia and Kavera have as well. But there's a massive teaser at the end of this comic, so let's read it and talk about it. So this comic starts with Brava walking into the Hereford Military Hospital in Hereford, United Kingdom, same place where Hereford Base is actually located, and we overhear a conversation between Hibana and Thermite. So Hibana says, someone planted intel in Deimos' plane. Thermite responds by saying, what was it? We now take a look into the actual hospital itself, where we can not only see Hibana talking to an injured Thermite who has a walking stick, but we can also see that Ash is in a coma. So the future of Ash, we don't actually know how she's going to make out of this. So continuing Hibana and Thermite's conversation, Hibana says that there was a geolocation for a compound in Brazil, and if there's more intel to gather, that's where it will be. Thermite asks if it can be accessed remotely, and Hibana says no, completely off the grid, and that Brava will lead a reconnaissance operation to find out more. Thermite instantly shuts this down by saying that son of a bitch put Ash in a coma. He killed Harry. Brava had a line of fire on Deimos and didn't take the shot, and we did actually see that in the Commanding Force cinematic. Hibana responds by saying, I'm aware of what's at stake, Thermite. This is a Viper Strike operation. You do not get a say. So a little bit of turmoil between the two captains. Thermite says that new intel says that Deimos is actually getting ready for another strike as they speak, and they need to win here. Then Brava interrupts by saying, then allow me to take the point. Sir, the clock is ticking. I know the area, the people, and how to access the compound unnoticed. With me leading, we save weeks of prep, weeks we don't have. Like you said, now or never. And Thermite, looking quite stressed out, eventually agrees. Hibana says, find us something, Brava, but be careful, this could be a trap. And Thermite finishes off saying, and if you see Deimos, you pull the fucking trigger. And a determined Brava says, yes, Captain, I won't make the same mistake twice. So now we're actually in Ouro Preto in Brazil, and we can see the reconnaissance team, which is led by Brava.
How much do you want to bet that Deimos doesn't die here?
Includes both Jaeger and Alibi. Really cool to finally see more Jaeger in the lore. So we actually get a little look at this compound with Brava, Alibi, and Jaeger looking at it from the hill. Jaeger and Brava both make their way closer to the compound, whilst Alibi hangs back with what seems to be a marksman rifle in her hands. It's really cool to see Alibi actually use a weapon that isn't the MX Storm. Alibi gets the call that weapons are free, meaning that she can take the shots. However, she actually gets flanked by one of these unknown enemies, who then takes a shot at her head, but it turns out she was actually a Prisma this whole time, and the real Alibi was actually in a different position and takes out this enemy. What an absolute badass. So with the element of surprise gone, Brava and Jaeger are fighting these enemies head on. Brava orders Jaeger to open fire. Both Brava and Jaeger do get pinned down, with Brava saying that they need to get inside the building, but Jaeger is actually worried that more reinforcements are about to come. Brava seemingly makes up her mind, saying if we don't get that intel, more will die by the hand of Deimos. We do whatever it takes. Brava swings a corner, taking out two enemies, whilst other enemies are actually being taken out by both Jaeger and Alibi. Brava swings a corner, again throwing a grenade and then shooting after it, taking out more enemies. However, this leaves her exposed from another enemy with a grenade in his hand. He throws a grenade at Brava, but Jaeger's ADS is there to save the day. And finally, Alibi takes the killing shot on the enemy that threw the grenade. And with this, the enemies are defeated. And I actually think it was really nice to see Alibi and Jaeger's gadget actually used in a real life setting, because we've not really actually seen that before, so it's really cool to see them work in this manner. Alibi and Jaeger are about to enter the building, that is, until what seems to be a rocket launcher actually blows it up. And it seems like Brava and Jaeger were kind of hit by this blast as well. Brava seems defeated when she realizes that the intel has been destroyed in the fire, and that is until she sees the silhouette of someone running into the forest. So Jaeger, Brava, and Alibi Deimos? Get on their feet and chase this person down. This person actually says, you don't want to shoot, trust me. Brava says, give me a good reason, and this person actually says, I don't know how, but they found out you were coming and laced that building with explosives. I blew it up to save your lives. And Brava actually says, well, that's a little convenient. Another option is that you knew what we were after and destroyed our intel. And then this person says, I didn't destroy the intel, I am the intel. I'm the one who planted the geolocation. Brava replies by saying, then why all this? Why not come to us directly? The stranger says, I was stuck. Deimos, he's everywhere. It's a long story. My only option was to get your attention on this compound and hope you'd send a team. I can help you stop him. On the next page, we actually return to what seems to be an undisclosed base. I'm not sure if this is still the hospital, but it does look somewhere quite different. Could actually be the stadium, because we do know that is a base of operations for Team Rainbow. So Hibana actually looks at Brava and says, did you find something that can help us catch Deimos? And Brava says, not something, someone. And in the final page, Brava says, Hibana, Thermite, me, and then the comic book ends.
Oh, come on.
And so at the current point in time, that is the furthest in Rainbow Six Siege lore we have gotten to. We have a new teaser for the Swedish operator who claims that they are able to defeat Deimos. And of course, we actually have to learn who Deimos' true identity actually is, and how Rainbow and Nighthaven are going to work together in the future. And I've got so many theory videos on my channel, and of course guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg of the lore. There is still so much more you have to learn, so many operator backstories, synergies, relationships, and everything. I cover them all on my channel, so be sure to subscribe if you did enjoy this video. This took a lot of effort to make, so even just dropping a like and a comment to help boost the algorithm really means a lot, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this if your first time seeing it, or if this has been a recap video for you. But regardless, thank you for watching. I shall catch you all later. I love you all. Peace.
See ya. Okay, no, you know what? That was fine. It was funny. It was enjoyable. But also, Rainbow Six Siege lore is just the worst. I have to go, actually. So, yeah, short stream. Thank you already so much for watching. Thank you already so much for hopping in if you did. And I'll see you on the next one. Memento 3.